What if I told you that in 30 minutes you can build a customer support chatbot that works 24/7, improves customer satisfaction, and possibly save your business thousands of dollars every year? Sounds impossible? Well, let me show you how. Hi, my name is Love and I run Engage Growth, where we help businesses streamline their operations by using AI technology. And over the past 2 years, I've been into AI and systems development and launched my own AI company in the process. So in this video, I'll take you through a step-by-step guide on how you can build the ultimate AI customer support agent, all made in Botpress. And by the end, you have a fully functioning chatbot ready to dominate 2025. You can think about your customer support chatbot as kind of like the first line of defense for customer queries. Basically handles repetitive tasks so that your human team or yourself can focus on solving the complex problem that I know we all face in our businesses. So our chatbot needs a few essentials, and they are basically an instant greeting, a short about us section, FAQ handling powered by an AI assistant, and the way for the user to contact a human representative if it's truly necessary. So your chatbot might look something like this. We start with an intro where the bot just says a standard greeting to the user and also tells the user what they can expect from their interaction. And then leading on to a hub where the bot will identify the customer's query. And then it has 3 different options. So the About Us page, the Q&A section, and the Contact section. So the About Us and Contact is quite self-explanatory, but the Q&A is basically where the user will be directed if they have any questions. Okay, so now we're inside of Botpress, but before we start doing anything, we want to add our knowledge base. So we come into this left side menu and hit knowledge bases. And inside default knowledge base, we can add what type of knowledge base we want. So you can, for instance, add your own website URL, a document, a table, web search, or just raw text. But I'm going to add a document. So if I hit document, and then I can drag my document over here and hit add and then confirm. That is going to index the whole document, and then we can hit optimize so that we get better results from the knowledge base. So this will just run, and in the meantime we can go back to home. We can go back to workflow, and we can start by deleting all of this stuff. And to start things off, we're going to start with the introduction part. So right click anywhere that you like and hit standard node. And this is going to be the intro. So we can name this node intro. And then we have a bunch of different cards, which is basically options that we want to, or actions that we want to use. We're going to start with the text. And I want to start by hit Windows and then dot to add an emoji. And I want to start to add the wave. And then 2 stars to make the text bold. And I'm going to say welcome to magic, e.g. fashion. I am your virtual AI agent. Then bold again, Josh. So this is basically a message that the bot will send when we're starting a new conversation. And we need to go here and drag to the intro node so that we connect it from the start. So if we go into the emulator now, which is where we try the bot, and type in a message, you can see that this message is being sent. So now that's all for the introduction, and we can go on to add the hub. So if we right click again, create a new node and then name this hub, we can connect the introduction to the hub. And as I showed you earlier, we have 3 different options for actions that the user can choose to do. So for that, we're going to add another set of card, which is a single choice card. And this basically is a card where you ask a question and then you can add different, now in Botpress it's called items, but it's basically choices that the user can pick and then click in the chat, and then they will proceed to the flow that matches the user's desired needs. So I will start by asking the user, instead of make a choice, I will say, what do you need help with? And I'm going to start by adding the choices. So about magic, or ask me a question, or contact us, or quit. And then we're going to do something that I recommend you doing, which is hit advanced configuration, go into retries, and where it says 2, delete it and set it to 0. And one last thing, under where it says include knowledge bases, where it says search all, disable search instead. So now we basically have set up the different options. But before we connect the options to the representative flows, we're going to do something that ups the value by a lot. So let's say if I go in here and start the conversation, but then instead of pressing a button, I type something else. Who is this? Then it will fail. But what should we do now? So create a new node once again, and you see that we have 5 of these circles. Go to the last one and connect this to the new node and name this classify. So what we're doing now is that we're classifying this message and making it being sent to the respective flow. So add a card, and for this we're going to use the AI transition card, where we use AI to categorize this incoming message. So for the last message, it's always going to be found inside the event.preview. So we can type this in, these weird brackets, 2 of them, and then event.preview. And then in the categories, we can add what the different types of categories that we want to add. So about magic, e.g. fashion, or ask a question, or contact us. And then under advanced settings, we can both choose which language model we want, and you can see we have a lot of options to choose from, but I'm going to choose 4.0 mini. And make sure that we hit force classify so that it always selects one of these options. And now we're finished with the hub, and we can move on to set up the about us page. Okay, so now we can go on and start with the about us page. So create a new node, and we'll name this about us. And for me, this will only contain 3 text cards. So we're going to send 3 different messages. So we can add them 1, 2, 3. And we can start by connecting these 2 nodes to the about us. And in the first message, I'm going to paste my message. So at Magic Fashion, we celebrate individuality and style by crafting unique blah blah blah. And then I can copy my second and my third. And then once these are done, we can drag this back towards the hub, and that's our about us page. So now we're going to start with the Q&A page. For this, we're going to actually start and creating a separate workflow. So we can still add a new node and name this Q&A. But if we go to this menu right here, we can hit create a workflow. And we can delete this, and I'm going to move this a bit further away. If we come in here and right click, we can select rename, and I will name this Q&A workflow. So starting this workflow, we can add a new standard node, connect them, and I will name this question. And first, we want to add a capture card. And in this capture card, we're basically going to explain to the user that they can ask a question, and then we will go on and help them. So for this, we're going to add a raw input card and question to ask the user. We're going to say, ask me anything about magic, e.g. fashion. I will do my best to provide you with a suitable answer, or press proceed to exit. And then add a kind-hearted emoji. Maybe this one. Yep. When we input the question, we want the question to be stored inside of a variable, and that we can do here. So where it says select and create, hit this, and then you will see it something like this, and we'll type in user question, and then we can hit create. So now we have a variable. Now we want to hit here and disable search, and under advanced configuration, go into choices, add an item, and they say proceed. So proceed will basically act as a button. So if you press proceed within the bot, you will basically quit, and the proceed option you can drag to the exit. Before we continue, we need to go into our agents, and we're going to, because we want to change the setting in our knowledge base agent. So go into agents and the knowledge agent, and then we want to see that answer manually is turned on. If it's off, make sure that it's on, because this is what we want to do. We can make sure that it's checked. And now we'll add a card, and this is going to be our query knowledge base. So basically, when we've got the question from the user, we want to query the knowledge base, which basically means that we go through the knowledge base to see if we can find information that matches the user's input. So for the query, the only thing we're going to do is use @ and then do workflow.user question, which is the variable that we just created. Here you can change if you want a specific knowledge base, but I will just have select all. And for the answer variable, we actually need to go into this left side menu where it says variables or all variables. We can hit the plus, and then make sure there is set to workflow string, and then name this just question answer and enter. And now in here we select question answer and we're complete. Now we want to add an expression, and this is going to be if the knowledge base finds an answer. And if you want to know more about how expression works, you can check out my latest video where I made an in-depth guide on expressions. But for now, we'll name this answer, and the condition, type in turn.knowledge agent .answer .length is greater than 0. So this basically, if the AI will find an answer, the answer length is greater than 0, and then it will proceed. And now we're finished with this node, and we're going to start with the answer node. If we get an answer, we need to connect this to this node, and we're going to name this node simple answer, add a text card, and we can hit the @ variable symbol, and then hit question answer. So there we have it. So if we want to try this, we need to go back to our main workflow, and inside of this Q&A, we need to add the Q&A workflow card, and then we can connect the Q&A here, and then you see here that it says exit, connect the exit back to the hub. So if we go and try this, type in hey, ask me a question, how can I contact you? You can see that it started here, ask me a question. I asked the question, it queried the knowledge base, and then it transitioned to the answer, and it gave me the answer over here. But now we want to add another node that works as a loop. So basically you can ask how many questions you want, or you can hit proceed when you want to exit the loop. So we can go above the answer node and create a new one, and just for simplicity we'll name this loop, and we can actually go to this card right here, hit right click and copy card, and then paste the card inside of this node. But instead of sending this message, we will modify this a bit. So we can delete this and say, feel free to ask me another question. I will do my best to provide you with a suitable answer. Or, and then as usual, press proceed to exit. And basically this is identical to the last node. And we can actually go ahead and copy this card as well. Okay, that didn't work, so I just go ahead and add it manually. Use a question answer. Let's see if this one works. Connect this to the answer. Great. And when we get an answer, we want to drag this to the loop. We want to drag the proceed to the exit. But if you guys know something about bot building, or you might have figured it out already, what if the AI cannot find an answer to a question? Well, for that we need a fallback, and that's pretty straightforward. So we can hit add node. I will name this fallback as usual. But now we want to drag these two to the fallback. And what we want to do first, before we create the actual fallback, is that we want to create a table. So in the left side menu, hit tables, and then we can add new table and delete this and just name it fallback, but it will default to fallback table. And we can add two columns. So first is question, which is string, searchable, nullable and searchable. And we can add answer as well. So two columns. And then go back to knowledge bases, and inside of our default knowledge base, hit table, add the fallback table, and hit add table. So now we have two different tables for the knowledge base. So basically what we want to do now is, if the bot cannot answer a question, we're going to store that question inside of our table, and then we can manually go ahead and answer this question in the table. And then the next time the user asks a similar question, it can find the answer in that table. So first things first, we need to store the answer, or the question, sorry. So we can add insert record, and then select a table. We're going to select the fallback table, and in the question we're going to add the workflow user question variable, and then that's it. And now we can actually continue with the message saying that they couldn't answer the question. So just a basic, I am so sorry, but I couldn't find an answer to a question in my knowledge base. And then actually what we can do is that we can have the option for the user to contact a staff member. So for that we can hit add a card and go to Boolean. So we'll ask the user, would you like to contact us personally? Yes or no. But for this, we go ahead and disable knowledge base search. But instead, under advanced, we're going to go to retries, set this to 0, and then under advanced, we're going to add transition to handle failure. And now we're going to create one node, which is for the failure. And we'll just name this failure. And we can add an AI transition once again. And the same as last time, event.preview. Add two categories, question or other. Again, force classify turned on. And for the other, we're just going to drag that to the exit for the sake of this video. But if they ask a question, we're going to do the same as we did over here. So question, drag this here. We're going to say failure question. We're adding a query knowledge base. We're going to add event.preview for the query and search all knowledge bases and store it in the question answer. And since we've stored it in the same variable with question answer, we can actually add the expression set to answer with the same condition. And since we had the same variable, we can drag this back towards this node where we already post this variable. And if this is not working, we drag that to the fallback again. But what if they say yes to contact a staff? Well, just drag this yes option to a new node, name this contact, and we're going to add a text card where we just basically input this old message. So you can reach our customer support service via live chat, email, or call us at blah 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 blah. And then we can drag this towards the exit, and the no, we can drag that towards the loop. So yeah, there we have the Q&A section all wrapped up. So now we have two minor details we need to add before we're finished building the bot, and that is the contact us and dragging this quit towards the end. So now we have only one thing left, and that's the contact. So for that, I'm just going to add a node, connect it, name this contact, and then add a simple text card, paste in the old message as I did like literally 5 seconds ago, highlight it, and drag this back towards the hub. And now you all, we have a fully functioning customer support chatbot. Okay, so many of you guys have actually wondered how we can upload your chatbot to a web page. So I'm going to show you how to do that just right now. So first things first, go to the top right, hit publish, make sure that it's loading, and this can take a moment, so I'll be with you guys shortly. So once your chatbot is published, you can go back to your Botpress dashboard, and now I'm inside of my chatbot, of this chatbot that I just built, and we can filter, and in the website menu we can answer a few questions and fill out some information. So I'm going to, what was his name? Josh. Chatbot name Josh. Magic e.g. fashion agent. Share with me. File upload disabled. Contact information. Nothing. Term service privacy policy. We can hit save. And we can change the themes. So let's say I want to add a more turquoise color. And make round borders, and I want to change the font. This sounds good. And now under share we have an embedded code. So if we just hit copy, then we could go back into our code. We can go into a code playground or your website or anything, and under HTML, if we edit, paste this in and hit run, and now we can see that we have our chatbot inside of our website, and yeah, we can chat with it. So by now, you have built an actual AI agent that solves a real world problem. So we've covered everything from how we can set up a basic chatbot in Botpress to how you can upload it to your website and chat with it. And now it's time to take real action. If you found this video helpful, make sure to leave a like and consider joining my Discord community where I hold events live with me, but you can also find new contacts, and the link to join that is in my video description. But if you're ready to take your business to the next level, make sure to visit my website, also in the link down below, where you can learn more about engaged growth and how we can help your business thrive. Until next time, I wish you all the very best.